Welcome to the Hey Friend podcast. I'm Kayla.
I'm JC.
And I'm Telvin.
And this is episode 2.
Episode 2, Shawty.
We made it. We're back.
All right, Telv, what's our episode about today?
So our episode today is a very interesting one. We definitely told y'all you're in for a ride. So for this ride, we're going to take you in a very nice, short but long, but interestingly long short story that will paint the picture, tell a story of how me and Kayla became connected, which is the start of this friendship. And then we'll introduce you to JC along the way. And then we'll show you what 15 years of friendship looks like.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So kick off. We are all from Alabama. So just to paint the picture, that's why we got the Hey Friend, Hay.
War Eagle.
Ugh.
Roll Tide.
Go Trojans. That's where our money was spent.
Roll, Troy, roll.
We'll tell you the story on that too. War Trojans.
We'll
It's
tell you the story
complicated.
about that. It's
Oh,
very
welcome to the South.
complicated.
Welcome to the South.
It's true. That is important to note, I
That is
think.
very important.
That
to
we're
know.
all from Alabama, born and raised.
Yes.
I'm sure you'll be able to hear our accents through this.
Yes.
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 The
So
20
kick
is
off.
there.
Our friendship started. Telvin and I are from Prattville, Alabama. And Telvin and I had mutual friends, but didn't actually hang out in high school until my senior year, which was 2008. And Telvin asked me to prom.
Did.
And I decided that I didn't want to go with anybody. I wanted to go with my group of friends.
Yep, she did that.
So I turned them down.
She did that too.
And Telvin did not talk to me for a long time after that.
I didn't know who that girl was no more.
Poor Telvin. Poor Telvin.
It was not poor me. It was poor Kayla. Trust me.
Were your feelings hurt, though?
No, my feelings were not hurt.
But he was salty.
I wasn't salty.
He was salty.
But you know the petty Telvin.
Petty.
I do know Petty Telvin.
Petty Telvin
Mhm.
was out to play.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Petty Telvin was out. He
Yeah.
was not nice after that.
I wasn't not nice. I just wasn't cordial.
No. He acted like he'd never talked to me a day in his life after
You didn't
that.
know her.
We did go to the roller skate though. At one point during that, one of like King South or something.
Oh, yes.
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 What was that roller skate called? It was that roller skating rink that
Yeah,
was
it
across
was,
from Montgomery Mall.
Ooh, that was a tough area for me to be in.
I
Us
can't
being
believe
at
we were over there.
17.
Well, can we also laugh that that's what we used to do when we were growing up? Is your parents would drop you off at the roller skate rink?
Oh no, we drove the
Which
cars
is in the
there.
hood.
We drove the cars
Oh
over there.
no, not the
Did they know
Taurus.
we were there? That's the
Oh,
question.
that's the question. And that's when I couldn't drive the interstate. I had to take the toll bridge. So I had my 75 cents for the toll bridge.
Oh God! So we were in a rough area, but we were, we
Well,
just didn't
we're
care.
gonna-
We be steady
We're
bombing.
gonna have to follow back up with
Figure
this
it out.
the skating rink name though. That's gonna bother me. So we're gonna have to look at that up at some
Yes.
Mine from my hometown was called Skaterama. That was the.
point. No, we had
Sounds-
Pratt Lanes, no Pratt Skate Park. What was that one in Prattville?
Something skating rink, like Pratt skating. Maybe I don't remember.
What we doing in Montgomery for
So
something?
So y'all rekindled at the skating rink?
So I'm assuming we might have just ended up starting hanging out. But I think when you found out you were going to Troy, because I was considering Troy, and you
Yes.
said you were considering Troy. I
Yes.
think at that point.
Yes, because Kayla is a year older than me. You have
Yes.
to remember that.
And that was before.
And I think it was
left.
King South or Dude's Comrades. One of the two had they were doing a
Concert, kind
song show, something at the skate rink. So that's where we really went.
Mhm.
And it's happened to be us two having that like love for the ratchet Montgomery trap music scene.
Yep.
All right, well, I have two thoughts that I'd like to point out in this. One, I think it's important for the listeners to know that we all went to the same college, Troy
Yes.
University. We'll get into that later. But if you hear the words Troy, that is our college. It's literally in Troy, Alabama.
Yes.
Go Trojans.
Mhm.
My second thing to go back to the skating rink is, were you wearing Ed Hardy?
Actually, I definitely had Ed Hardy shirt on.
Absolutely, he did.
I definitely did. I went through a big Ed Hardy phase.
Yes, he
I
did.
had it all. I had the t-shirts, I had the jeans, I had the belts, I had the buckles, I
Mhm.
had the button downs, I had the ball cap, I had the look.
Telvin had it all. Telvin owned like the whole line of Ed
Mhm.
Hardy.
Wait,
Mhm.
did you have an Ed Hardy birthday, or you just showed up to your
No.
birthday wearing all Ed Hardy?
I had my birthday party. No, it was 2009 was interesting.
It was a very interesting time.
I had my birthday party / about to graduate party, whatever you want to roll into. I was lucky enough. My dad helped me get King South, which is my favorite rapper. Sing some of my favorite songs, There She Go and Cry For You.
There she go, there she
That's
go,
right,
there
There
she
She
go,
Go.
Johnny, there
So
she
anyone
go.
from the Southeast and really knows like trap music, they know who King South is.
For sure.
And especially like he is top notch in my mind.
Oh, I already know. You thought you was hot
So
shit.
I
Hot
will have to
shit,
find this
honey.
picture and show it to y'all. But I definitely wore Ed Hardy to that party, and King South showed up with his hair like spray painted, dye, like dusted, and like an Ed Hardy design with his Ed Hardy shirt on, and we were just Ed Hardy'd out.
Oh, so he committed.
Oh, he sent it.
Yeah.
Did
Anything-
you preface to him
No,
that it
I
was
think that was just a big, like, you know how streetwear now has become like the essentials, like all those like Yeezys. Ed Hardy was our Yeezy.
This is
Yeah.
true. This
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had some
Yeah.
Ed Hardy
I
pieces.
did not. My parents did not buy that for me.
Kayla, not all of mine was real. A lot of it came from the flea market.
Yeah, no, my parents were not on board buying that for me.
Okay. Sorry. I just had to ask the Ed Hardy question. So let's go back to the roller skating rink.
Okay.
Well, that rolls right into it, actually, because
Yeah.
the Ed Hardy party, which was Telvin's senior year,
Yeah.
at that time I had already moved to Troy,
Okay.
was at Troy for my freshman year. So
Yeah.
Telvin's graduation rolled right into you all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it actually does. Okay, so my story of how I became 1/3 of the Hey Friend podcast, essentially, started back in my junior year. And for listeners, it's kind of like a 1, 2, 3. Kayla is the oldest, and then
Mhm.
1 year later comes Telvin, and then
Mhm.
1 year later comes me. So I was a junior in high school, and I had a mutual friend from their hometown.
Mhm.
And without getting into the details of it, there was a party that, like a high school party that was thrown by my mutual friend. And me and a couple of my friends who also knew this mutual friend basically show up to this party. And the listeners that I think are from Prattville and just South Alabama will totally understand that y'all wanted nothing to do with us.
We didn't know y'all.
Well,
Mm-mm.
even you. Telvin was like, "Who the hell are these bitches? Who they ain't with us. They are not
Prattville
with
was
us."
very much tight knit.
Uh-huh.
So our group,
It's
I mean, people have to
everyone-
realize
Yeah.
Prattville was small.
Mhm.
The acreage was large, but Prattville was very small. So even though we graduated with 400 people each class, 400 plus,
They had like 600.
we knew every single person in that class.
Mhm.
And those are our people. So
Yeah.
when an outsider came in,
Yeah, it was not cool. And basically, no one talked to us the whole night except, the friend. I didn't talk to anybody there except the friends that I was there with until I met Telvin.
Well, I will say, I definitely spoke to the group, not the whole time, because I knew one of the other
Mhm.
members of the group because she went to a neighboring school that we
Right.
were parallel friends with her.
This is true.
Yeah.
So we already had connections to
Mhm.
her.
But you and I had never met, and I don't even remember how this came about, but we ended up becoming friends at this party.
Yes.
And we have the pictures to prove it, y'all. There are selfies of me and Telvin. This is back in the digital camera days that I used to keep in my purse. I am kissing Telvin on the cheek. Telvin is kissing me on the cheek. It was basically like we just instantly
Yeah.
became
Yeah.
friends.
And this is a night too. We think about high school days. I was drinking the blue raspberry MD 2020.
No,
Yeah.
indeed.
Definitely took some Jello shots made of aristocrat Sveka, whatever that crap is,
Sveka.
that you like hid in your closet and it lasted 3 years somehow because you didn't
Mhm.
drink.
Mhm.
Arista shit.
Ugh.
Um,
Everclear. PTSD.
I have for another
Nice.
episode, I have a very distinct memory of aristocrat and getting kicked out of a fraternity with you in Tuscaloosa. But we'll save
is
that for
is that chicken on stick night?
that might be chicken on a stick night. That might be chicken on a stick night. We'll get to that in another episode. So Telvin and I meet at this party, and 2 weeks later was his graduation.
Mhm.
And this makes no sense at all, but I met Telvin, and 2 weeks later, I decided that I wanted to watch him graduate.
Yeah. So JC's at my graduation. We have pictures of that graduation day. My mom is asking, like, who is that girl that someone's over there hugging and taking pictures with? She's like, I ain't seen her before.
Nobody knew me.
No one
So-
knows. She like came in, like I honestly didn't even know she was there. She was like darted into the frame, like, hey.
Well, I mean, think about it. I'm
JC
I mean,
fashion.
Yeah.
This is so true, and I think that definitely is a testament of my personality. But
It
I mean,
is.
no shit. I'm I'll never forget. I tell my parents, I'm like, yeah, I met this guy, and they're like, are you like interested in dating him? I'm like, no, like I think we're best friends, and he's graduating in 2 weeks. He's from Prattville, and they were like, okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go,
Yeah.
and I literally drove by myself to this graduation,
Which
Which
is
is
like a
how
2 hour
far?
drive,
Right.
right?
two
Right.
two and some change,
Yeah.
Right.
to watch this random dude that I met 2 weeks prior. And I will never forget him taking family photos and me like standing in the back, you know, just kind of waiting and having like his whole family look at me and being like, okay, but for real, who is she?
They're very curious.
Right. Who's this girl that
And,
we've
you
never seen?
know, having a Southern black family, they're kind of like, who's this outsider?
Who's this white girl?
Right.
I wouldn't say white, but they're definitely like, we don't know her.
Never seen her. Never
And
heard
in
of
our
her.
town, everyone knows everybody. So
Right.
it's like, who is
Yeah.
she?
I mean, I was just at the Prattville graduation, just by myself, vibing out, waiting to watch Telvin graduate. And
Yeah.
then the funny part about this is, so we have the pictures to prove it. I go to the graduation.
Yes.
I don't see him for another year.
So insert this next year that JC's missing is me and Kayla's year of us solidifying our friendship.
Mind you, I had no idea who JC was this whole time.
Mhm.
I did hear about this girl coming to Prattville, and I was like, I don't think I want anything to do with her. I don't know
We don't
her.
know her.
I'm not with her.
Which is why we go back to how Prattville is.
Exactly. Simply because we were very protective of our space, and
Mhm.
now that I realize that as a sentiment who all of us are is now, I just want to make sure you're genuine and authentic before
Yeah.
you come and bring your energy in my space. So it's like, I don't know her.
Fair
Great.
enough.
So then a year later, JC.
We're not going to talk about our year together and all our
yeah.
efforts,
Okay,
or are we
okay,
going to leave those
so-
off the
Well,
table?
I think we need, okay, so
I'm just-
after Telvin's graduation, Kayla was already at Troy.
Yes.
Telvin was
Going
attending
in.
Troy
Yes.
in the fall. So there is a year timeline of my involvement in this friendship. I go
Yes.
to the graduation, I take the pictures with Telvin, we'll definitely show y'all. And then I go back to my normal life.
Yeah.
I think this is a good time to say, so I'm not from Prattville.
No, you're not.
I am from Enterprise, Alabama.
But you've been adopted by the
story
Prattville,
will
Tri-County.
sound like-
You've been adopted by our area.
It's true.
It will sound like JC.
You're
is
no
from
longer
Prattville,
from
but
like the
she's
south
not.
south side of Alabama. You're more so from the central part now.
It's true. I feel like, you know, all my best friends are basically from Prattville. That's how it ended up. Besides my few best friends I still have in Enterprise.
Mhm.
And y'all kind of, you know, took me into y'all's little wing, and we have plenty of stories to tell
Really
you
what
that.
happened too. A lot of Prattville people went to Troy,
Yeah, they did.
and they were all our friend adjacent or our actual friend group. So
Right.
it became our little mini Prattville University all over again.
Yes.
Well, and Enterprise is the same. And to give listeners the kind of like geographical. Oh my God.
Geographic?
Graphical?
I was trying to make it like a coal at the end.
It's
you
a
know?
cool. It's
Geographical. Yeah. To give listeners oh my God. To give listeners a
A
geographical
lay of the land.
Yeah, cool. To give listeners a lay of the land. How far is Troy from Prattville?
About an hour and 15.
40.
Caleb, how
On a
you
good
driving?
day.
You be riding down 231, don't you?
45.
Caleb, it takes you 30 minutes to get from Troy to Montgomery, and then like to the house, it's like another 30 minutes.
It's
So
like 15.
I
So
was an
45 on a
hour.
good day.
I was an hour.
Okay,
15.
roughly an hour. Enterprise is
Okay.
the same. So we're basically the same distances from
In
Troy,
the middle.
which is why a lot of Enterprise people go to Troy.
Right.
A lot of Prattville people go to Troy. I mean, I would meet my mom halfway and have dinner with her.
Right.
Montgomery was a thing for our parents. yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, so going back, I am like out of the picture now. I am back in Enterprise, having my senior year. I basically, I became best friends with Telvin for 2 weeks, and then I don't talk to
We
anybody
didn't
for a
speak
year.
for like a whole year.
Yeah.
So during that time, me and Kayla have her sophomore year, my freshman year at Troy. Fun fact, me and Kayla lived in the same apartment complex.
Yep.
So that was already asking for trouble. So telling the story of me and Kayla. Me and Kayla used to live in the same apartment complex. Her sophomore year, my freshman year. She lived with a couple of girls who were one from our hometown, one from a town over that they were a little friend group.
Mhm.
I lived with one of the guys from our hometown that was like one of my close friends as well. So our little community knew each other.
Yeah.
So we were together.
Yeah.
So every day, Kayla's one of the few people who could bust up in my house, door unlocked, and being like, walk into my bedroom, like, oh, it's just Kayla. But that was a great year.
Yeah.
And that's the year I also got to meet Kayla's husband, that at the time was her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So I did not like him.
You didn't like
I didn't, let
DJ?
me rephrase this. I did not like him. I just didn't know him.
Telvin was very treated him the same way he did you. DJ came in. I remember he was speaking to him at that point. We were friends,
Uh huh.
and DJ and I were we officially dating then? Maybe
Y'all
like
were
a month or two.
transitioning into
Yeah,
like making it official.
yeah. And DJ would speak to Telvin, and I was like, just don't, hey, preface it, don't worry. Like, he may not talk to you. And DJ was like, what's up, man? Being who DJ is, like, very much like your personality.
Yeah.
And Telvin literally did not say a word to him, packed his computer in his backpack up, and walked out the door.
Shocker.
And DJ was
You
like,
know, I'm like really good
oh.
friends, and I'm just like, don't try.
But look
Don't
at this. But look
Don't
at
try to be my friend. Just be my friend.
Thankfully, that has changed since
True.
2009,
This
which
is true.
But yeah, so I cheered that year. I made cheerleading. First year I didn't make it, which was a joke. I will say that now. And second year I made it, and so Telvin was along for the ride. For that year it was God, it was a wild ride. We had a lot of Prattville people that were there.
Um,
Ashton
oh my God, Ashton was
Prattville
there.
was a huge
The Ashton Squared was together.
yes, was a huge
Yeah.
ad. And we just had a great time that year.
Yeah, it was it was a great self-exploring year, but it was also a lot of fun. I think we had the most. Well, we had a lot of fun, obviously, throughout all the years.
Yeah.
But that was a year of just being true to Bakari. And
I mean, there was so much stuff we
I
did.
mean,
in that little
without
bitty
going
town.
into many details because I don't want to piss my parents off.